Welcome to the bold analysis. On Sunday, Jeremiah Kioni confirmed the political position that in this bold I had said that Uhuru Kenyatta was never part of that broad-based administration. And so when the president booked an appointment to meet Uhuru Kenyatta in Ichaweri, he had started talking, or rather he had launched talks with the three cabinet picks, Kagwe, Kabogo, and Kinyanjui, to join the cabinet. So all that was choreographed. While this underway, the president did not know what is going on. So the current statement by Uhuru Kenyatta on the Gen Zs confirmed to the country and to President Ruto's team that Uhuru Kenyatta was not part and was not willing to be part of that broad-based agreement. In this podcast, we are going to look at the new political alliance that is putting Matian'gi as the candidate to face William Ruto in 2027, and why the meetings of Uhuru Kenyatta and Matian'gi have also had the backing of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. So much political intrigues going on behind the scene before Matian'gi flew back to the US. Kindly subscribe to our channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to support this appeal here urgently. In December, we managed to support Charles, and so he was taken to Mama Lucy. But by God's will, Charles died. For the last 1 month, the body is still lying in Mama Lucy. And now the family has really been looking for me around this. So I spoke to the son who I caught up with him. And the son is asking us that what is really needed is how we can take Charles home to be buried, to be given his final rites. This is really something that we had supported him, but alikufa. Yes, I think I had mentioned that. But for the last 1 month, things have not been adding up. And this is the plea from the son.
Mi naitwa Jaco Tieno Onyango. Mimi ni firstborn, and today nilikuwa naomba, mimi nimekuja mbele yenu kama mnaweza kunisaidia as a firstborn of Charles. Charles is my father, so if mimi mnaweza kutusaidia mtoto tumpeleke home at least arrest, because amesha suffer kuna kamina, amesha suffer kwa mgonjwa, tena amekufa, tena mchari amekwama. So mimi nilikuwa naomba tu kama mnaweza kutusaidia tumpeleke dad home, tumzike peacefully Kisumu, Seme. Maana yote ikuwe tu mzuri, roho yangu itulie, because mimi hata silali cause dad ashakonjeka kwa miaka mingi.
So kindly, let's see what we can do. I told them that we will take charge so that on this weekend, on Friday, they can be able to take the body home, probably the transport to take the body, the sanduku, and some few costs that are needed for the hospital in Mama Lucy, because he was again in ICU in Mama Lucy, the bill that is just pending there kidogo, and the mortuary bill, so that the body can be taken home. I believe we can pull through this so that on Friday we can support them. So let's support kidogo ujaza kibaba. Uhuru Kenyatta support for the Gen Z irritated the president's team, and they came out calling out Uhuru Kenyatta with all manner of names. But on Sunday, the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party, Jeremiah Kioni, spoke about Uhuru Kenyatta and the Jubilee Party endorsing Matian'gi as the presidential candidate, as the man that they will support, even after Uhuru Kenyatta made the statement. And Matian'gi has been in the country for better part of December before he flew back to US. had convened several meetings with a contingent of MPs from the larger Kisii region, and that is captured in that screenshot you're seeing there, that article that you're seeing there, with getting a chunk of the support from the larger Kisii region, a minority, actually a group that is really considered the biggest chunk of part of the biggest population from the larger Luo Nyanza. And after that, there have also been several other meetings with Uhuru Kenyatta in Ichaweri. We now report that Uhuru Kenyatta is warming up and is comfortable to support Fred Matian'gi. This is coming at a time there is a breakaway in ODM, because allegedly the former president Uhuru Kenyatta is also reaching out to Raila Odinga access to form a formidable force so that they can go full throttle against William Ruto. And you can look at the breakaway within ODM as quite Ruto is pushing the team to declare their support. So within ODM, there are two sides. The one that believes ODM must maintain its identity on fighting for the rights of the people. There is another group that believe that they should support the president. Then Uhuru Kenyatta, after the narrative was cooked that he's joined the Ruto administration, the day the Kagwe, Kafogo and Kenyanjui were being sworn in, he made the statement of calling out the Gen Z to fight for their rights, something that did not sit well. And today, I saw another statement from Atuoli. And this can tell you that Ruto's team are a bit more uncomfortable with Uhuru Kenyatta, coming out to support the Gen Z population.
Ya William Ruto, serikali ine yali ampesa kama huli bemirimo. Kwa hivyo NSSF muiwache kando. Hiyo na akiba ya wale wafanyikazi, na tumeongeza. Mtu sasa akitoka huko, hatoki na shilingi 40,000, 20,000. Hivi karibuni itakuwa pension scheme kwa wale watu wanaoacha kazi, wapata pesa zao mpaka siku ile Mungu atawatoa duniani. Na hiyo ni mipango ya William Samoei Ruto. Nikimaliza, nataka kuambia hivi. Ni lazima tusaidie William kwa mambo yake ya kiserikali. Kulinda wale wafanyikazi wa polisi. Kulinda wale watu wa security agencies. Kwa ajili watu wakiwapiga ovyo ovyo, adui wetu wataona sisi hatuna jeshi. Na wale wanapiga hawa wana nia yao mbovu. Na sisi Bwana Rais, matata ikitokea ni mfanyikazi, mama, mtoto ndio tutakimbia. Na tutakimbia tukienda wapi? Tukienda Uganda kulikuwa na moto huko. Tutaenda wapi? Na mimi nataka kuwasihi, mwaka wa 2007 nilisema tuangalie katiba ili tumpe masharti president yeyote anayeretire. Watu wakasema watu wale anataka kuongeza Uhuru Kenyatta miaka sijui nini. Haikukuwa hivyo. Mkimuacha loose, anaanza kusema you young people msimame, rise up, protect your properties. Young people wana properties gani ya kuprotect? Badala ya yeye kusema nyinyi msisaidie mali yangu isichukuliwe.
Now, William Ruto was looking for this Uhuru handshake and the narrative of Uhuru handshake because it will be the plan to enter Mount Kenya. Probably the messaging would be, and the plot was very simple before Uhuru deflated it, is that he will get to Mount Kenya, and upon getting to Mount Kenya, he will say that they are forming broad-based government, and that government is even supported by Uhuru Kenyatta. But again, the other objective was to legitimize his power. Because remember, the discussion has been that things are not going on right in the country. And with the wake of abductions, Ruto has been facing legitimacy issues even within the population. But the agenda has been to try to legitimize power. Matian'gi candidature, however, got to the newspapers today with a very big headline of Uhuru Kenyatta supporting Matian'gi. If you read this, on the other side, Rigathi Gachagua allies have also been revealing that the second deputy president is also in alliance, is also mooting an alliance with Natembeya from the Western Wing, Kalonzo Musyoka, Matian'gi, and other allied politicians across the country. It is understood that Matian'gi candidature will be the compromise point of reunion between Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua. So the reunion between Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua will only happen at Matian'gi being the compromise candidate. So I want us to look at the Matian'gi candidature backed by the two and what will be the prospects of that. You will understand this is why the president has even gone back to the campaign trail, because the politics of the country is taking a shape. And that's why the president is back in the campaign trail asking questions and threatening anyone that wants to go against him, that the race ahead is not easy.
Mimi nimesikia hapa iko mambo mingi ya 2027. Hii 2027 mambo bado. Kala. Pole. Unajua usianzishe muziki ikavuma kabla ya the main dance kuanza. Unaweza kufika pale dance itaanza, wewe umechoka. Alafu utazama. So twendeni pole ama namna gani? Tuko pamoja? Si mnasikia hata wale wanajaribu kuniambia sijui nini. Yaani nyinyi mkinipima kabisa. Watu wa Kakamega. Ati watu ya mitego. Na watu ya ukabila. Na watu ya chuki. Na watu ya bangi. Ati watawazana na mimi? My friend. Wajipange vizuri, kwanza watafute sera ndio tupangane na hawa. So otherwise asanteni sana.
So what is the features of Matian'gi candidature and why that is really disorganizing? You know, the kind of candidate William Ruto will want is the one he will run the tribal politics. Is the one he could run the smear campaign strategy. I understand even before Matian'gi came to the country, Matian'gi came in December, before Ruto did the December reshuffle, he also tried to reach out to Matian'gi to take a cabinet slot. But Matian'gi did not agree and decided even to fly back to the US later in January, even after attending that burial ceremony. So this has been here, and the president is seeing that the possibility of also facing Matian'gi in the ballot is there. Remember, Rigathi Gachagua, if the impeachment case is upheld, then he might not be able to vie for any position even in 2027. So the compromise candidate might actually be needed. And so what is it? Matian'gi joining the race would actually form a compromise candidate for the Gen Z population. And if you are keen, you will understand that there is a current debate going on. And it's a very legitimate call. Someone is saying, you cannot defeat Ruto by posting in Twitter and Facebook, and it's genuinely true. But then the Gen Zs are being asked to do this. Do they prop up and prepare one of their own to be the candidate? How? You know, they are partiless, they are formless. They don't have the modality of settling on one person. Kasamweli, Morara. There was a lot of, and the government, and because of the shake it where it is, it doesn't have a central unit, because it didn't have a leadership, because if it had a leadership, it would have collapsed. So that movement, settling a candidate will be it. And so they are being asked, do you settle on one candidate, one of the big wigs, and now move and support that one candidate? So if Matian'gi appearance in the ballot and the Matian'gi presence in the ballot will actually be a compromise candidate for the Gen Z population, something that Ruto's team are quite uncomfortable about. The other second issue is Uhuru Kenyatta's political voice in Mount Kenya is actually increasing, Bridge. Because Rigathi have decided, Rigathi has took a stand. He has took his stand. He's not blinking and he's taking Ruto head on. On his side, he's decided. So the only person that would give President Ruto a lifeline in Mount Kenya was none other than former President Uhuru Kenyatta. But then his decision to stay away from the broad-based administration is something that increases the rage. And we're waiting to see, because whenever the president will go there, he would actually want to run some broad-based narratives. But that has not been made very possible. The other issue is Matian'gi would actually eat into the Western Kenya chunk. It will eat into a chunk of the Western Kenya. The Kisii population is huge on that side. Nyanza and Kisii borders Nyanza in some sort of the Luo side, on sort of assimilation. So when he is actually on ballot, you will most likely woo that other region with the candidature, with also the support of Natembeya. So if there is something that President Uhuru would not want now, is a candidate from the Western Belt. Because the Western Belt, Ruto would be comfortable if that Western Belt is under ODM, then ODM hands over. He buys ODM with every penny around so that ODM will back him. So the Western Belt is what is supposed to supplement the more votes that are being dropped from Mount Kenya. So if there is a candidate that will come from that side, that will be a big blow to the president. And lastly, Ruto team are against any formidable force that can run a successful campaign against him. Remember, there are several issues you can raise against Kenya Kwanza. You only need a formidable candidate that can face the voters and tell the voters about it. Will Matian'gi be the person to foot the bill? Remember, he's neither clean. During his tenure as a CS for Interior, it was also marred with several cases of defying court orders. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my take, and kindly let's support take the body of Charles home for burial. Ikiwezekana, immediately we can be able to get enough, 200,000, we will be able to support the family so that they can take the body home. Thank you.